Now we're going to make this fantastic Mother's Day card. And when you get the download, this is what it will look like. All you do, fold it in half neatly, so it opens up as a flap, and you can write your message inside here. To Mum, to the best mum in the world, whatever you like. Sign your name. And on the front, this is what we do. Now I've already given you an outline, so it's really going to be quite simple. We're only going to use 5 of the pastel pencils and start off by using a red. Start off quite lightly until you get used to them. And you want to go all over the red that you see, or the pink that you see there. Alright? And you just simply shade in where I've shaded in. Obviously make it a little stronger than that. Where you get areas like that, you want to make it just a little stronger so that you see the red a bit better, then fill it in. Start with a line and then fade out from that line like that. Okay, and all you do then is just use your finger very, very lightly just to blend it in so that it looks nice and smart. Okay, now we do the whole thing like that. So I will do this in a stop and go so that you see it, all of it, but in little bits. And when I've finished, I'll show you how we finish the red off. Now what we have to do now is to put some shading in. So I'm just going to, this is a little bit of the flap of the petal that's coming over the top, so we need to put the red underneath it, and just using the side of the pencil very lightly shade in where you see the pink on the picture, like that. Don't have to be too fussy, but you can see a bit of red on there. So, okay, now this is a little more tricky. We need a little bit of red, but not too much, so you need to be quite light on this side. Okay, and it's the same here. We need to be much lighter. So you just put a little bit of pressure on the pencil, but not much. And then all you do is just use your finger to blend it all in. Like that. And there you are, we've got a pretty little rose. Now, what we now have to do is to go over the edges of the rose using the red. It's a good idea to have a sharper point on it because you get a better finish that way. Just simply go all the way around like that. Okay, all the way round. All the way round there. Now I'll finish that off and you can have a look at it when it's finished. I've nearly finished now, just a little more. Up that edge, round there. And down to there. little bit here, another little curl across there. There we are. Oh, isn't that pretty? Just before we finally finish up, what I'm going to do is this is an area here. I'm just going to put just a little more red, just to make it just a little stronger on this edge. Again, just use the pencil much lighter now, just to put a bit of shading on that edge. And there we are. Lovely. Now the rest of it we use the lighter green pencil. I've only got 5 pencils, so that's the red been used. I'm going to use this pencil now, which is the lighter of the green, and you just simply go over all the green, every part that remains, using this lighter green. And it goes all the way down there and all over the leaves. Now I'll do that in the stop-start, as I did with the rose. Right, nearly finished, just this part of the leaf to go. Now you've got to be careful here. You don't want to cover this area up, so be careful here, because we're going to put in a darker area on top of it. You see it's almost disappeared, so be a bit careful. So straight away, while we've still got it in mind, we go in with the darker green, and that darker green, make it a little wobbly line there. And the other thing you can do with this is to go around with the darker green around the edges, just as we did with the rose. Make it wobbly, little wobbly line there, and then just fill this in with the darker green. It's a nice idea to do what I'm doing now. Just to squiggle the pencil. It covers the paper better with the pastel. There we are. Look, doesn't that look nice? Now, you can also go around the edges of the green with the lighter green with the dark green, like that. Just like that, all the way around the edges. Remember here we got a wiggly line again. It makes it look much more interesting, that does. And just there we have a line in the middle. Now this is just going to stay. This is an open leaf, and this is a leaf that's been closed up. So we're looking at, this is the inside, and this is the outside. But here we've got the leaf open all the way. And we come down here to there, finish off there. Don't actually quite reach the bottom of that because it looks better. And here we've got just a little thorn. We'll deal with that separately in a minute with the brown. And we come up through here, and again that leaf comes up there, and then just fill it in like that. Fairly easy, isn't it? Now, with the dark green, we can do something very clever. What we can do is put some shading. We've already put a line on there, but what would be nice to put a bit of shading on the outside. You see that? When I do the other side, it'll look really spectacular. And that thorn just a little more. You can see, look at the difference between that and that. Doesn't it look good? And come up here with it, and all the way up to the top. And just underneath where we've got a little bit of shadow, we can make it a little darker like that. And it's the same here. We can bring the darker green, much lighter than we used it going round the edges, but just on that side. Don't do it on both sides, just on one side like that. And then just on the edge would be nice. And just on that very tip of the leaf. Doesn't that look pretty? And you can do the same thing here, just around the outside. It just makes it look more interesting, that's all. There we are. Now, with the other colours, what have we got left now? We've got 2 colours left. We're nearly there. This is the brown. Now, don't use a lot of this. Just a little brown on the edge, like that. And it's nice to have just a little brown here and there on the stalk. Not all the way down, but just put a little, and when you've got that little thorn, I said we'd use a brown, didn't I? Like that. And once again, where the leaf comes away from the stalk, we can put some brown in it there. And maybe again, just a bit on the inside of the leaf. All we're doing is making the colour just a little more interesting. And the final colour we're going to use is a light yellow. There we are. Now see, that will just give you a little highlight. And we can just put a highlight all the way down the stalk like that. All the way down like that. And in here we can also use it just to highlight and lighten the inside of the leaf up. Okay, and we're nearly there. Now doesn't that look spectacular? There we are. Now I think your mum is going to be really, really pleased with that.